Hello ladies and gentlemen, welcome back. This is Force with some more Destiny. Here in today's video, I'm going to walk you through the very first mission in the game. This will be the mission that you immediately jump into right after character creation. Now before we actually go through that though, I'd like to briefly show you what character creation is all about. Now the very first thing that you have to choose is what your class is going to be. This game has three classes, the Titan, the Hunter, and the Warlock. It's important to keep in mind that all classes can use any weapons in the game. The only thing that separates the classes are the special abilities that you have, like what type of grenade that you throw, what type of ultimate that you have, whether it's slamming on the ground or throwing a volley of fire or whatever. That's basically what separates the classes. Now into the customization. All customization is facial. You can't change your body proportions or anything like that. And the only time this even comes into play, how your character's face looks, is when you're in the tower walking around with other guardians. Now in terms of what you can change, well, the first thing you get to pick is your race and gender. The three races are human, awoken, and exo. Once you have picked that, you get to decide what type of face that you want, and there's anywhere in between, I think, 5 and 10 different options for all the different race and sex combinations. And you choose your skin color, your lip color, your eye color, a different variety of hair options, and again, you choose color for that. And then lastly, everyone has an option to have these facial markings, which sort of work like war paint or tattoos, and just another way to sort of further distinguish yourself from other guardians. And now that we've taken a look at character creation, let's go ahead and check out the gameplay.
We won't survive long out in the open like this. Let's get inside the walls.
So the premise of what's going on here is we as Guardians, you start off dead, and then the Ghost comes and revives you. The Ghost is this little robotic character that will follow you around and sort of be your guide and act as the narrator for the single-player campaign. Think of it something similar to what Cortana was in the Halo series. Having this character that's always with you and helping you, that's what the Ghost is for you in Destiny.
Okay, I need to find you a weapon before the Fallen find us.
So we started off dead, the Ghost came to revive us, we're surrounded by Fallen. The Fallen are the initial enemy that you're first introduced to in this game. And the general setting of what we're trying to do here is we're trying to find a ride off of this rock. We're stuck, there's this installation right in front of us, and we need to get away.
Hang tight. Fallen thrive in the dark. We won't. We need more light. I'll see what I can do.
I really, really loved this scene the first time I saw it.
Another one of these hardened military systems, and a few centuries of entropy working against me.
Just everything's black, you can see some dots in the distance, and then the Ghost snaps on the lights, and we realize we're surrounded by the enemy. This is something that lots of games will do, just to sort of create like a suspense. I thought it was neat though. Another thing too, this game looks absolutely gorgeous. Do bear in mind this video footage that we have here is pulled from PlayStation Share, so it's not quite as high quality as my gameplay coverage footage will be eventually once I get full 1080p HD. That'll be coming later this week, actually. Luckily enough, I'm getting my capture card very soon. Okay, so now it's time to hop into the actual gameplay. We start off finally fighting, meleeing characters in the face, all the fun stuff. Now, we are playing as the Hunter, as I mentioned earlier. And as I mentioned earlier, the differences between the classes are solely the abilities that you get. You can use whatever weapons you want with whatever class equally as effectively. But the type of grenade that you throw, the type of special ability that you throw, the type of melee attack that you have, those will all be adjusted. Even your movement skills, whether or not you have a hover or a dash or a double jump, those will change depending on your classes. But your ability to perform in combat is equal across the board.
There's more ahead. Keep it up.
Now, with those weapons in mind, this game uses a system of primary and secondary weapons. And here in this first loot cache, we're introduced to our first secondary weapon, which immediately for the Hunter class will be your sniper rifle.
Trip mines! Don't touch them.
Also, don't touch trip mines. You can shoot them, you can duck below them, whatever you like. So we're introduced initially with the sniper rifle, and the way there's primary, secondary, and heavy weapons. That's what I've seen in the beta, and they take up 3 slots. So your primary weapon, that's gonna be your assault rifle, your submachine gun, your light machine gun, your pulse rifle. The secondary weapons, those are sniper rifles and shotguns, and actually those are the only 2 types of secondary weapons that I've seen. And the way the game works is that enemies will drop one of a few things. Well, number one, they can drop loot, but they can drop ammunition as well, and the ammunition will fill those different types. So you don't, for example, there's ammunition that will drop for the primary weapon, secondary weapon, and heavy weapon. So no matter what you have slotted, whether I've got a sniper rifle or a shotgun in my secondary weapon slot, picking up the special secondary weapon rounds off of enemies will fill up whatever ammo for my secondary weapon that I have equipped. Trying to go for a little bit of headshots here. I'm fairly, getting better at it. It's very strange to me. A lot of people talking about sort of the PC versus console war when I started covering Destiny just the other day. As much as I would love this game to come on the PC, I'm getting used to playing shooters on the console again. It was definitely a relearning period though, because there's been a period of 5 years where I legitimately haven't touched a console. Like, I don't think I've picked up a single controller connected to a console.
The Fallen have a tighter hold on this place than I thought. Just a little bit further. Let's hope there's something left out.
In a long, long time. It's kind of crazy, but just sort of how it is. All right, so we've pushed our way through the first wave. We've pushed our way through the first wave of Fallen here, and now we're going to finally be brought out into a big open vista. Something that...
This was an old Cosmodrome. There's got to be something that can fly out of here.
It's something that this game, I think, does a great job of. The outdoor environments just look absolutely fantastic. And now we're being invaded by the Fallen.
Fallen ships! This close to the surface! Move!
So when you're going through the story missions in this game, which is what this is here, this is the very first story mission, you will be sort of in a partitioned off area of a larger environment. And you'll be stuck in this area more or less for the duration of the story, but then later on what will happen is all of these little segments of story mission that you went to in this general zone, let's call it, and we use MMO terminology, all these little segmented story mission areas, they will all just be open up for you to fully explore. That is done through the mode known as exploration mode. So after you do, I can't think of the exact number off the top of my head, but let's say after you do the first 4 story missions that are all in these sort of tight little, more or less, corridored areas, once you have finished that, then you go in exploration mode. All of those areas and then more will just be completely open up for you to explore, to go through, and there are these little mini missions that you can pick up. We'll be looking at exploration mode in a separate video, but I just wanted to sort of explain to you how this works, where right now we're going through this tightly narrated corridor shooter basically, but then it will open up and will allow more sort of MMO freedom. And we leveled up here.
I'm picking up signs of an old jump ship. Could be our ticket out of here.
And now that we've leveled up, I do get a chance to show you the skill system. So immediately upon hitting level 2, I get access to my first skill, which will be my grenade skill. Now the grenade for the hunter is a fire grenade. Like I said before, all the other classes have a different type of specialty weaponry. So we've got the fire grenade, the Titan has a grenade that will blind enemies temporarily, and the Warlock has a grenade that like sucks enemies in and does damage over time. So a little bit, sort of slight differences. Honestly, I feel like the most useful grenade out of those 3 would be the Titan one, because the blind is incredibly useful. It causes the enemies to sort of walk around staggered for a little bit. But I assume they balance that with the damage of the different grenades and all of that stuff. And here's our ship.
Clear him out.
And we've got some enemies to clear out before we get to hop onto it. So this is the first special enemy that we've seen. That guy with a little shield on him. He'll have this white health bar, and then once you clear out the white health bar, you can kill him. So what I did was I first popped off the white health bar, which drops down his shields, and then a single sniper shot to the face will be able to kill them. And there's different difficulty levels when you go through the story missions. Unfortunately for the first story mission, the tutorial essentially, which is what this is, there's only one base difficulty. So this was pretty simple, but you'll get to take a look at some sort of harder, more difficult, challenging gameplay in some of my future videos. And that...
All right. Let me see if I can get us out of here.
Is essentially it. We've just got this final cutscene, but that basically does it for the first mission. We now hop on our ship and head home to the tower. So that's going to do it, guys. Thanks so much for watching as we take a look at the very first tutorial mission and a little brief look at character creation here in Destiny. Do expect more coverage from me. I've sunk somewhere in the vicinity of 10 hours into this game so far, and I'm having a blast, even though it's me playing a first-person shooter with a controller, which isn't ideal for someone who's been PC gaming for as long as I have. But this is a very well put-together title from what I've seen so far, and I just can't wait to check out more of it. All right, guys, thanks so much for watching. I hope you have a fantastic day. More Destiny coverage coming up in the future. Keep watching and keep owning.